61.43 is accepted. Please.
Okay.
Unanimous.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you very much. It's and thanks for getting out these notes to us so in to explain. That was really good.
I think it's all very well putting budgets in front of people, but sometimes, they do need a bit of explanation because, I'm working with them all day, every day, sort of thing.
Okay. Weight restriction of Burton Rail, I think we can clock that one, can't we? 20 mile an hour, we can clock that one. Correspondence.
Yeah, I sent you, I thought, again, tried to make things a bit smoother running. I decided to send the correspondence out to everybody. Now, Malcolm, sorry, I meant to give it to you earlier, a copy of it, which I'm struggling to find now. But basically, there was
Can you pass that to Malcolm?
it just tells you where we made correspondence from and what issues, some of which I think we probably covered. The Bakersfield thing was the one, wasn't it? The main one with the, stuff around the entrance, which I think has largely been dealt with now.
Yeah,
I think.
dealt with it.
So, but if you find that a useful way of giving you, because otherwise I stick them out on the table there as emails. Everybody's scrabbling around trying to sort them out, and if you've got them on one sheet, it's easier to deal with.
The only thing I was going to say on the Bakersfield one, it was interesting, we in fact had two pieces of correspondence, one asking for less data.
One asking for less. Less is more.
Put it back.
You can't please everybody.
Well, the other thing was on there, of course, was I met up with Brian, who became the Police and Crime Commissioner when he visited.
No, I couldn't.
Oh, you came, John. And he, very promptly, I asked him if he could come to our parish meeting next year, the annual meeting, and I thought, that's the last I'll hear of that. And actually, he came back within 24 hours and said, I've spoken to my diarist, and yes, it's in the diary for next year. So he's coming along, and I believe he's coming along with one of his assistant chief constables as well. So there'll be an operational person there as well. So we're quite well blessed there, I think.
I've got a red carpet.
That's okay on that one. Good. Okay.
Well done, thank you.
Chairman, I was just
sorry.
commenting on that, just to say it's as well that we've got someone who can be there, because obviously with the election being next year, it's going to limit very much as to what can be reported back from the district, county and from the parish.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah.
Item 9 then, Queen's Jubilee celebrations, outreach to local organisations.
Well, we don't actually need at this meeting do much on that one because Stephen Russell has agreed to come to the January meeting and outline what he's looking for a multi organisational approach to all of this. And will tell us what he wants from the parish council. So I actually don't think there's much that we can do at this meeting to forward that any further.
I understand that Birmingham Council are putting out requests for suggestions in the area regarding a beacon.
So I believe.
They've been asked to provide a beacon. I wondered if we could suggest the Knoll and they come in and pay for that.
Well, we're doing the Knoll anyway now.
Yes, I know, but they could pay for it then.
Maybe. Worth a try. I've asked Peter Osborne if we can use the radio for that. He kind of sent me a reply but didn't say anything, so I assumed that was a positive. He just sent me an email back with blank. So I went back to him and said, is that a yes? But he still hasn't come back to me, so
Yes.
Sorry, I did remember that you and I were supposed to be going to a meeting with East Brent to discuss the sharing of this work.
Did that happen?
I've not heard anything yet.
It's supposed to be in November.
Yeah, because a lady from Limsham had an idea of coordinating everybody as well, but I haven't heard anything. I mean, is Steve Russell merely concentrating on Brent Knoll?
Absolutely. He feels that said at the Legion meeting that it should be a village effort in combining all organisations in this village and everybody putting their weight.
Right.
Sorry, I didn't say
I
that.
didn't-
Parish Hall has nominated someone to be on that group, so.
Oh, right, I do.
They're hoping, as John said, that all organisations will. I said Parish Hall has put someone forward. I think
Well,
they're hoping
I-
others will.
I haven't heard
well.
any more after me, but I mean, Steve, I don't think he could care less who's going to run it, but he wanted to motivate something in this village, which is always an interesting proposition. I didn't say that.
Okay.
Okay.
Parish surgery. Who's going to?
So who's going to come and have chocolate biscuits and tea and coffee next time?
I'm coming because of the
Bacon
chocolate
sandwiches.
Andy. Okay,
What
Andy.
time do you run it?
10 a.m. to midday.
I'll put it in this time.
I'll send you one. Don't worry.
Okay. Notice board Bakersfield relocation.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
that's
that's
something
me.
like that.
Yeah.
We mentioned at the last meeting about the fact that obviously with the shop having closed where it was, we've still got our notice board on the wall there. Years ago we used to have a notice board at the bottom end of Brent Street at Mike Simmons's post office, and for a long time that end of the village hasn't had access to a notice board. The Willow Tree housing people have said they would be happy to house our notice board on their land. We need to, if we go ahead, we need to agree with them where to put it. But what we need to agree is, one, if we're going to do it, if we are going to do it, we probably need to take the notice board down and just refurbish it before it gets put up. They're happy to actually install it on theirs once we agree where to go. So we just really need the permission to have it taken down and refurbed, probably by Paul who made it. But that was what we needed from tonight.
Paul first off then, really.
Yeah.
Paul being the first thing. Yeah.
Do we have to agree to that, or just say yes?
As long as we're happy with that.
Everybody happy that we do
Yeah,
that?
fine.
Yeah, thank you.
And could I do one further part on
Yeah,
that?
sure.
I gave you earlier some papers if you could pass round to have a look at. The Willow Tree people have got a little play area that they've created for the residents and people at that end of the village, and on it is a bench. They would like to put a plaque on the bench to commemorate the work they did with the parish council, and they've sent through that's the size of plaque and the wording they're looking at, but they wanted to just make sure the parish council were happy with that before they did it.
Okay, it's headed Bakersfield in recognition of the community-based partnership responsible for the provision of housing for the people of Brent Knoll Parish Council, Sedgemoor District Council, Willow Tree Housing Partnership, and it's about 6 by or 8 by 2, something like that. Is that everybody happy with that? Yeah.
No spelling.
So that's a yes.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Possibly right the name.
Matters of report. John. Cynthia.
Just I'm going to say something. I mean, I'm sure people have spoken about this before, but just lately I have noticed, there are a lot of lorries going down Brent Street, but really, my house absolutely shudders. I mean, and it is regularly. It really does. The big heavy lorries.
Sure, it's not tractors.
No, it wasn't a tractor. I mean, they go fast, but they don't have that weight. And I'm not saying this because for no reason. It is quite serious because the whole house shakes. And they're enormous, because there's only a kind of narrow footpath between me, really, and the road. But I'm sure it's not just me, it affects all the other people as well. I mean, it's not just once, it is regular.
Well,
I don't know what we can do
sorry,
because
don't
it is.
I think the problem is that when they did the resurfacing, there are 2 gullies that are sunk, and we've reported it. You may have noticed they've now painted around them. They are coming back to raise those drains because it's as the vehicles are going over those, that's
it's
what's
not
causing
doing-
them.
yeah.
Right.
So those are being replaced.
I don't hear the noise, it's just the vibration. So obviously if that's what's happening.
Well, see whether it cures the problem.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Okay. Thanks, then.
Okay.
Andrew. Warwick.
No. Telephone kiosk that we were talking about last time, about moving it, and Gary, who owns the old telephone exchange, wants to preserve it. He was happy to see it on the village green somewhere. but he's also offered any financial help.
To
offer that, who's going
to
to do
move
an
it,
offer?
to actually move it,
To help in the moving of it.
To move what?
to move, where do you want to
be able
move
to put it on the village green. That's what I've been
Well,
saying for
we're
years.
not to move there.
it? Yeah.
So,
Ready for the defibrillator.
There's no power on the village green, so
And the other thing is, all daffodil bulbs have been planted.
Oh, have they? Who's had the last of them?
Jane City.
you know what you call this,
Okay, thank you.
One more thing.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah,
I went to I was at a Zoom meeting on Monday for Bus Back Better, and I've made some notes on it, which I'll circulate to you, and then if you can read them, and before the next meeting, and come up with some ideas, and we'll put it on the agenda.
okay, thank you. So bus back on the agenda. Yeah. Andy?
You share.
Unfortunately, yeah, just one. Being new to the village and not being party to the approval that the council's went through and the work that it went through to get the 2 housing estates built, there is a lot of positivity coming out of people talking about it, and I understand we've got a lot of village people. That's the wrong word, isn't it? Yeah, but you know what I mean, not the band. We've got a number of people from our village, either with relatives or families moving into those properties. I think we've, certainly in the last few months, gone under a lot of flack for planning. It would be nice to do some sort of article on the web and in various documents to talk about the success that this group of people have brought for village members in the way that they've been doing the planning and the housing, and get some positivity out there, because I'm sure at some point we're due for more negativity. So it'd be nice to actually get something saying what a good job that this group of people have done. If somebody would like to put an article together or put some ideas together, and I'll put the article together.
Interesting. I mean, it'd be interesting to interview the local people that have taken those properties and see how it's all faring. I mean, we did put some statistics in the BKN, didn't we? Did we put it elsewhere? Because we said on our communication policy that we would look at and put things out on Nextdoor or burnonsea.com, but we don't seem to be doing that. That might well be a. Can you look at the old article that we had?
Yeah, I'll try and find it.
Yeah, because that would be a good starter. Bob's BKN article.
And maybe 1 or 2 interviews
Yeah,
from existing
yeah,
parishioners and
yeah,
new people coming into the village.
yeah.
Because I think Niall's sister-in-law has moved
Yes.
in as well, and she's
Yeah.
got an interesting background.
Yeah.
So that would be a nice win for the village.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, good idea, Andy. No?
A couple of very quick things, just to follow up on what Andy was saying. I did get stopped in the street the other day by someone at the bottom end of Brent Street who had been a major objector to the Bakersfield development, who said actually they were really impressed with what was there. It wasn't anywhere near as bad as they thought it was going to be, and thought we'd probably got it right. So, which was nice of them to say. So,
Yeah.
the other thing I was going to mention was just a heads up, if those of you who haven't noticed, the sign at the end of Brent Street now says 40 instead of de-restricted. The 40 mile an hour limit is now in force
Is it?
on the A38, so you need to stick to 40, because otherwise technically it is now enforced that anything above that can be enforced, so it is now.
Well, on C.com, it's full of letters saying you're going to get up to 40 mile an hour anyway.
There are times of the day it comes, but
We've all tried it.
And the reason for that is because now there's a 40 limit, everyone drives at 35 or lower, so now it's slowing the traffic down on the main artery.
hopefully less fatalities anyway.
Okay, there's nothing from me. The only thing is I know it's a bit early, but we're not going to meet before Christmas. Wish you all a happy Christmas and New Year. And will you stay on to have a glass of wine with me and some something to eat?
That's where the goal for.
Wait too long,
Yeah.
should they?